I've played more or less. This one's brought to you by ESPN Bet. These numbers coming directly from ESPN Bet. Game 2 tonight out west. JWill, Luka Doncic, the number is 28.5 points. You going more or less?
I'm going to go more. I just, the way Luka's able to play, similar to Nikola Jokic, that offense centers around him 24/7. He is the critical reason why everybody else gets involved, because it initiates with him.
Monica, let's go to Kyrie Irving. His number is 22.5 for his total. More or less for Kyrie?
I'm also going over, Greeny. Yes, Kyrie was dominant in getting to the paint, but that's not all. Even if the Wolves are able to make adjustments to try to keep him out of paint, he's still a prolific three-point shooter. So I think Kyrie is locked in and knows his team is going to need more.
How about on the other side, Alan? The Ant-Man, 26.5 is his number, more or less.
Give me more. He needs more. The Timberwolves need more, and I don't want to hear any more excuses about him being tired. He's the youngest star left in the playoffs. He's the guy that can't be tired. He's got to bring it. It's a home game and a must-win.
Absolutely. By the way, if you like those three picks, the over on Luka, Kyrie, and Ant-Man, you will find them as a parlay right now on ESPN Bet. It is a get-up special. And again, it has been boosted to plus 500. You're getting 5-1 if you like those three players to go over in Game 2 tonight. Meanwhile, the head coach of the Timberwolves, Finch, who is known for some fiery speeches and things like that at times, had some very tough feedback for his own team after they lost Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rough film session. I told the guys it's been a long time since I've been this disappointed in your effort, your performance, your attitude, your application, your attention to detail. It just wasn't there. Western Conference Finals started. I'm not sure if they got the memo. They got it this afternoon.
Wow. I'd like to have been in that. Wendy, you're covering that series. What do we make of that?
Yeah, that is exactly the way I would expect Finch to react. I was kind of surprised it took until yesterday to do it, because he was sort of benign after the actual game. But I'm going to point something out here, and I'm sure this is something that he did as well. These last 4 games, Ant Edwards has been in a little bit of a slump. He had that 44-point game and that huge moment in the last round. But look at these games. This is 35% shooting over these last few, after these last 4. Just 20 points. That's pretty good, but by his standards, not great. And I'm going to point something else out. He's got 4 free throws in the last 2 games combined. 4. That's not going to get it done. They need points. They need to pressure the Dallas interior, and that's something that's got to change, certainly tonight in tonight's game.
That's interesting. What did you think of that approach, Monica?
Well, the free throws are huge, and I think that's indicative of what even Ant said after Game 1 in terms of settling for three-point shots. I like the numbers in terms of his efficiency. We know he needs to be more efficient. While Game 7 was not a breakout scoring performance, I actually thought he played well and impacted the ball game in that one. And then, fatigue is not an excuse, but teams are absolutely gearing up for Ant as the guy. He is the one when it comes to the Wolves, and so he has to make the necessary adjustments. I think there's room for him to take advantage of his shiftiness, his athleticism, and his explosion in terms of trying to get to the paint and then spraying if he has to a teammate.
And as far as the actual comments from Finch, A, he's a great coach, and I'm not a coach. B, he knows his team,
yes.
And obviously I don't. But I don't know, did I miss a meeting? Did they play a terrible game in Game 1? I mean,
yes.
They played a terrible game in Game 1. They had a putback dunk that was ruled off by this much.
They were there.
That otherwise would have been, the in the cylinder thing and all that kind of stuff. There's one great defensive play by Luka. That's a tie game in the final minute. I didn't think his team played terribly.
I didn't think they played well at all.
Really?
I mean, they gave up 62 points in the paint with Twin Towers. I mean, how is that possible? And also, if you have a size advantage, why are you settling for 49 three-point shot attempts? 49 three-point shot attempts. You have an advantage down low on the block. How are you losing in points in the paint? And then how are you settling on the opposite end? Now, you can sit there all day and tell me about being tired, but that comes to understanding where your strengths are and playing to your strengths, not playing the same style of basketball that Dallas plays. So, yes, I do think executionally, they did not have a good game.
You know what's funny, though? When Finch talks about it's been a while since he's been this disappointed, do we forget about Game 3 at home against Denver?
Yeah.
They absolutely got smoked in that game. They didn't even show up for that game.
It's been a week and a half since I've been this disappointed.
You know what I mean, right? Like after a while, you start to realize, this is kind of what your team can do every now and then. And at home especially, maybe they feel too much pressure. I don't know. But I'm with you. I thought at least they were in that game. They had several times they had a chance to take control of that game. And, Karl Anthony Towns makes a big three. Yes, the putback dunk. There were a couple of defensive issues that they had. But overall, they still had a chance to win the game.
Do you agree?
They didn't, and it was a home game. That's what I think he's trying to do. You know what he's trying to do? This has been great this playoffs. Yeah. Right. This has been Pat Riley kind of playoffs. Coaches calling out their teams or doing things in post games to take either pressure off or on their teams. We saw Rick Carlisle, Michael Malone using the media as a way to fire his team up. Chris Finch doing this as well. I love this because we're seeing coaches at the podium use it instead of giving us cliches. It's great, but how your team responds is the only thing that matters.
Agreed. When your best player comes on the post-game platform and talks about they were tired and they were flat
I don't want to hear
the course of the game. No, I know you don't want to hear it, but that's your best player stating that. Oh, there's a reason why I'm going to react.
I see.
There's no way in hell we should be flat.
That's why Finch did
There's no way we should be flat coming into the Western Conference Finals game 1 at home.
I like that comment a lot. We'll put the picks up on the screen here if we can. And you see we got a little, see, only Jay is on Dallas. Windy not making picks because he's covering the series.
Windy?
But Windy, I will ask you. making Windy make picks?
Well, he's got to walk in the locker room, man.
He's a professional journalist. But quickly, what is the key tonight? What will you be watching most in Game 2 tonight?
Yeah, they've got to get Ant space in the interior. Dallas has totally showed what their hand is going to be defensively. They pack the paint. Basically, we're playing a tight zone, and they were keeping 3 and 4 guys ahead of Ant at all times. They've got to alter their strategy and I think go a little faster. Don't let Dallas set up, increase the pace. And Ant has got to challenge them. If there's 2 guys in front of them, challenge them, get to the foul line, put the officials under some pressure on the road.
All right, so Game 2 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals set for tonight.